Finally, let's take a look at just some of the adjustments that we would do in the 7-man front when we got one back formations or when we get 2 tight end formations. The first one to deal with is when we have the one back deuce formation, as we call it. It's a 2-by-2 formation, a balanced offensive formation. In this particular case, we do not adjust our Mike and our Will backer. Their alignments will stay exactly the same, tan for the Will and 0 leg of the center for the Mike. We only have one backer that adjusts in this defense, and that will be our Sam backer. Sam backer will walk out and he'll split the difference between the tackle and the wide receiver. We will still keep him at a depth of 4 yards off the football. Passing situations, we might move him back to a 5-yard depth. So the only adjuster in this defense becomes your Sam backer. The offense has taken that extra player, the fullback that creates a gap in 2-back offenses, has now designated where that extra gap is by moving him out to that extra gap. The important point there is the Sam backer that's walked away is an out-of-the-box player. He's not responsible for anything between the tackle boxes, but he is responsible for any action to him where he now becomes the outside gap control player of the number 2 receiver on his side. And so we really try to get a read of the receiver as we eye the backfield and we see the ball on the line, off the line. That Sam backer will then get his eyes to the receiver to see if he's being blocked, to come forced to run, or if he's going to drop in pass coverage. The next one back set that we'll take a look at is the tray set. The tray set, to our terminology, is a 3-by-1 formation to the tight end side. Here, our Will backer has to be the adjust player. He will move out of the box. He will split the difference between the number 2 receiver and the tight end. And now our Mike backer will slide to a B gap stack alignment, and our Sam backer will move to an A gap stack alignment. Therefore, the defensive line in both these one back sets has no adjustments to make whatsoever. The secondary has no adjustments to make. All the adjustments come from the linebackers, and now they have to change their reads and their gap responsibilities. They're the guys that really have to understand where the fits of the defense come. But this makes it very easy for the rest of your defense, and your linebackers just have to be really well schooled in where they're going to fit in their defensive position. Finally, taking a look against the 2 tight end formation, which we call ace. This formation is a balanced formation. It's 2-by-2. So as a defense, you have to declare where are you going to put your strength. In this particular picture, I'm going to make the strength to the left. So the linebackers, again, would come up and make a left call. The Will backer would not change his alignment. He would be in tan. The Mike backer would not change his alignment. He'd be in 0 leg of center. However, the Sam backer now will move into a stack position behind the defensive end. Because again, essentially, we're saying that the offense has shown us where the 8th gap is. To us, this is like a split flow play. So if there was any action that came to the Sam backer side, he would immediately be a fast player to the D gap. I like this because, again, I don't have any kind of changes from my linebackers. The Mike backer on that same particular action, a weak play, would go to the fast B, and the Will backer would be your cutback A. So you have the same responsibilities, and again, the adjustability of this defense, as well as the carryover on reads and techniques from linebackers, makes the 4-3 a really good defense. Okay, the first thing we're looking at here is a 7-man front versus the run. Again, what we're going to take a look at is we're going to take a look at a flow play, both backs to the tight end side. 7 men in the box. Makes it imperative that we have somebody play 2 gaps here. As you can see, we're getting a hard outside track by the fullback, and therefore our Will backer, as we talked about in our talk, is going to be the guy that has to be ready to play 2 gaps. As he reads this angle, these 2 guys will determine who's going to be the 2-gap player, D to A or A to D. In this case, because of the angles of the backs, we're able to get a fast A box player, another box player to the football, and then our backside backer, as he clears cutback, he can work over the top to the football. This is an example of 7 guys playing the run right there. Here's a flood play action now where both backs are going to come away from the tight end. You're going to see your primary fit by your Sam backer in a box position, your Mike backer coming to that fast B, and now you're going to see your Will backer in the cutback A. Again, the critical point is the box player turning the ball back, and the faster your Mike backer gets down to force the double team to come off your nose man right here. The quicker he can get downhill and get across that guy's face, you can really be strong at point of attack. That now puts him in position to handle all cutbacks as well as your defensive tackle. Now we're going to take a look at the one-back adjustments. In the one-back adjustment, the 2x2 formation, which we call deuce, primary base alignment for these two players will not change, the Will and the Mike. The Sam will now walk out and split the difference in this particular play right here. By removing this guy out of the box offensively, we have to move a defender out of the box defensively. Again, we get what we call a fast flow play, something out of the box quickly, allows the backers to run inside out to the football. 7-man front defense versus a one-back set. Here we see a 3x1 formation, which we call tray. Now the extra receiver is on the tight end side. The backers again adjust. It keeps the simplicity for your defensive line and for your secondary. Now the linebackers have to gauge alignment and gap control responsibilities. Here we're going to see the run away from the 3-man side, and you'll see that the fits to the weak side become exactly the same with the Sam boxing and the Mike coming to the fast B. In this particular case, this guy's alignment should probably be a step wider. I like where the Sam backer is right here, though. They really stretched their blocking scheme, so your nose man really should become involved here. And he does a nice job of flattening, getting out, and the Mike backer to the football. Finally, we'll take a look at the adjustment versus 2 tight ends. Here again, we have a balanced formation, 2 receivers on both sides, the declaration by the defense of where strength is going to be. You can see there in the 7-man front versus the run, you have some challenges ahead of you, but if your players execute, you can have a chance to play that run very effectively with a 7-man front.